Depending on when I drop this video, we are either 20 to 19 days away from Crimson Desert. Now, this is a very, very, how to say, highly anticipated game because this game really would have struck a chord with gamers all around the world. Not only does this game look massive, but it also looks cool and it also looks like fun. But these are the same developers that told Sony
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
when it is they were trying to money hard this game. And for that, they have my support. So, guys, we are just about 20 to 19 days away from Crimson Desert because it releases on March the 19th. So, let me know. Are you excited for Crimson Desert? Are you going to buy this particular game? Let me know in the comment sections below. I'm very much excited for it. This is my style of gaming, massive adventure game. Wow, wow, wow. Let me know in the comment sections below. Next up, out of nowhere, Sony dropped the release date of Wolverine. Now, dropping the release date with no new trailer, no mention of when persons can pre order this game, it is sparking a lot of, how to say, curiosity from some gamers. Why did Sony just give the release date of Wolverine so that's unexpected? Well, I know why they did it. I know why Sony just dropped the release date of Wolverine. It's because they want everyone to forget that they would have made Bluepoint eat cereal with no milk.
I ate noodles with no packet. Cereal with the canned milk. The powder milk. No milk. Waffles, no syrup. Jelly. No jelly, nothing.
Shout the season, man. One of the worst things they've ever done, I think, Sony. Uh, this is a horrible decision on their part. We don't know all the business details happening in the background. This supposedly follows a business review of sorts. But if you just understand what Bluepoint is capable of, the people they had, the talent on hand, like it just doesn't make sense. Now, obviously, the issue here is that they were assigned to work on this games as a service game based on God of War. And I'm sure that this is a project that they pitched to Sony. And I believe that this is probably something based on the internal culture at the time and the Jim Ryan and the Herman Holst era, where essentially they were only going for projects that were service style games when that was the big new hope. Um, that kind of puts a company like Bluepoint in a difficult situation, and they took a shot that they shouldn't have taken, and that is a disaster for sure. But this is not the way to do it because yes, it was canceled. They needed a new project, but there's so many things they could do to make money, and beyond that, their talents are so significant. They had their own internal technology, both the engine itself, but also they had this ability to work with Japanese studios in a way that most Western companies do not, in terms of like interacting with the code and like dealing with Japanese comments. You know, they could have easily integrated with so many other teams and like really like improve things across the board.
Yes, that is why Sony would have just dropped the release date of Wolverine because they want persons to forget about this Blue Points fiasco. Normally, when it is you drop a release date, it's normally associated with a video, it's normally associated with pre orders, but none of that occurred. They just dropped it randomly on Twitter with no pomp or ceremony. They really want persons to forget about Bluepoint, but that's not what I am going to allow, Sony. I'm going to remind persons that you destroyed Bluepoint, another studio, dung in the graveyard, dung in the hole. Next up, let's talk about Marathon. Now, I believe that Marathon would be released on March the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe some persons have early access, so some persons pre orders for the game, it's open. And you know, a lot of PlayStation fans are celebrating that Marathon is high up on the Steam charts. Yes, it's high up on the Steam charts, meaning everyone is buying Marathon. Well, that reign lasts only for a while because look at this. Although Marathon was on top, Bongo the cat has surpassed Marathon. Go Bongo, come on Bongo. Show Marathon who is boss. So as Marathon continues to be slaughtered by a Bongo the cat, let's see how Marathon would fare in the next 2 to 3 months. Let's see if it will be another Concord or if it will be a success like Helldivers 2. But we already know that Marathon will do a little better than Concord because it's on everything. This PlayStation game is even on Xbox. You are not enough, ponies. You are not enough. Next up, let's talk about the word of the day. And the word of the day is pony propaganda. What lies are these ponies spreading this time? Well, Blessing from the Kind of Funny podcast would have made an erroneous statement, would have said that Jess Gordon, who interviewed Asha Sharma, did not ask hitting questions. He suggested that the questions that Jez would have asked was soft, it was gum-like, it was smushy. Yes, these questions was too soft. Listen to what he said here.
Here's my beef, right?
Tell me.
You know, you had gamesindustry.biz, you have Bloomberg, Jason Schreier, you got the game business, Christopher Dring.
Yes.
You got you have IGN. You have a list of people that you can go to have that first big interview, big conversation, lay out like, all right, where are we at with Xbox? I don't know. I feel like the place that you went isn't the place that you go if you're trying to have like a good interview, if you're trying to get something that is
Windows Central? Jazz?
Windows Central. It has Windows in the title of the website.
Here's the
I don't go to Jazz. This is projective journalism about a big corporate shakeup at Xbox.
It's just a
don't piss me off.
Opening interview. There will be many more interviews in the next.
This is your first one.
6 months. It's just fine. There's nothing to be said.
We're gonna go to the person that's gonna make sure that they're okay with us saying nothing.
What do you want to do? Grill her on day one?
Ask questions that are good. Have somebody that's going to follow up. Have somebody that's going to ask questions that matter. Have somebody that's not going to serve you the most softballs of questions. Have somebody that's going to give an objective stance.
I'll get on the line with the crew. We'll get a hold and we'll get an interview for you.
I'm crashing out.
This is where I have a problem because what he's saying, there's so much of crap. The questions that Jez would have asked Asha Sharma really address a lot of concerns by Xbox fans. We found out about, is Xbox going fully AI? She said no. He also spoke about, is Xbox going to lay off persons in the immediate future because of this change in leadership? We got the answer to that. The answer is no. He spoke about the console and how this is an Xbox campaign failed, and she basically said we want to go back to our console roots and go back to the players that made us Xbox in 25 years. So basically every concern that Xbox fans had was addressed, and that came out because of the interview with Jez. So I mean, he is just salty, and it's very obvious that maybe Kind of Funny didn't get the interview. No, you guys are immature, and guess what? Journalists like Jason Schreier and also Christopher Dring have been compromised by Sony, and there's enough proof to prove that. So get out of here, Blessings. So much so that you had to apologize for that statement.
I want to start off with, I stand by most of the points I made, at least from the heart of the Xbox part of it, the Microsoft part of it, and like the outlets they're choosing to talk to as far as like your opening statement, right? Like, hey, we're going to Windows Central. The thing that I regret in my statements yesterday is I feel like maybe my frustrations, maybe whatever. I don't want to make a bunch of excuses for it, but I think I boiled over into like a little bit to Jez Corden.
Sure.
Because I don't know Jez Corden personally. I've read his articles. I know his work. And I think there's a little bit of like the work that I've read of his versus like the how Xbox is choosing all this stuff that I think just raised frustrations in me as far as how Xbox is operating with the new CEO and like I don't know. For me, it was more so frustration at Xbox, which boiled over into frustration for Jez, which honestly was unwarranted from my part.
Mhm.
So I want to apologize for that part.
Sure.
This is what happens when you're looking for a viral moment. You have to go and recant what it is you say. You have to go and apologize. I mean, so immature, so foolish. That is why you guys won't reach, as a respective outlet to interview big, executives like this. And how could these executives take you guys serious when it is they see, commentary like this? I mean, you guys are acting so unprofessional when it comes to journalism. I mean, it's just sickening. So, this was the first set of propaganda, pony propaganda that we heard over the weekend. Now, there's another pony propaganda that we need to talk about because there are some PlayStation fans who believe that what Jason Schreier said is facts. Listen to what he said.
If you want to play Wolverine, you probably have to buy a PS5. Sony might be pulling back on its PC ports. Well-known industry insider Jason Schreier claims he's getting the sense that Sony may be pulling back for putting first-party PlayStation 5 games on PC. More specifically, Schreier says that upcoming single-player exclusives like Insomniac's Marvel's Wolverine might not come to PC after their initial launch on PS5. Over the past 5 years, Sony has ported many of its modern first-party games to PC, often heading to the platform many months after their debut on PlayStation 5. Horizon Zero Dawn was the first PlayStation exclusive to come to PC in 2020. And since then, fans have seen God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, The Last of Us, and more come to Steam.
So let me get this straight. I am seeing PlayStation fans celebrating that Sony is pulling away from PC. I am seeing journalists and articles being written that Sony is no longer going to bring their exclusives to PC. All because Jason Schreier had a sense that Sony is pulling back. Understand well what I'm saying. This guy did not bring evidence or bring sort of any kind of indication that Sony is going to pull back. He is saying that he feels he's getting a sense that they are doing it. And everyone is believing this man's sense. You can't make this up. So, are we going to forget about what Sony themselves said when they said this?
How do you expect the financial profile of the business to evolve over the long term?
So again, the business fundamentals are strong, and we expect this to continue across many different areas. First, strong sales growth driven by higher engaged and multi-generation MAU. And then an increase in the PS Plus, we spoke about that, increase in PS Plus revenue due to the shift to the higher tier and also a price revision. And then on the first party live services, becoming more consistent, predictable, and growing revenue stream. And also the continued strength and reliable delivery of our tentpole titles, incremental revenue also generated by going off console with our first party IP. And finally, the strict loss management and the operational excellence we have in place. All of these are ongoing trends that we will of course continue to monitor and improve everywhere we can. So I do expect these trends to continue going forward.
So did we forget that Sony themselves would have put out a job listing for a director of multi-platform and account management? They are saying that they want to put their games onto other platforms, but we are believing Jason Schreier's sense. So forget about the evidence. Forget about what came out of the Sony executive's mouth. We are going to believe Jason Schreier. That's what we're doing here. You guys have to be on crack to believe everything that you guys hear. The evidence and the facts show that here what Sony is making a lot of money putting their games on the PC, and I don't think that Jason Schreier's sense is what going to dictate what Sony does. Rubbish. I mean, you guys are so gullible. Oh, God, it's not even funny. But let me hear what you guys thought about this particular video. Am I capping? Do I have this thing wrong? Is it only Xbox, a dying platform, is going multi-plat? Sony's never going to put games, their single player AAA games on the PC again. Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.